Hey everybody, it's Pat Blocker here with the Peaceful Paws Method. Thanks for joining me. I want to start off by saying I'm going to change up my format just a little bit for my YouTube channel. In the past, I have recorded an episode for the Animal Speak and also for the Peaceful Paws Method. So they cover the same topic essentially. So what I'm going to do today is combine them. I'm going to start off and talk mainly about building trust with your rescue dog and how to take a compassionate approach to that. At the end there, I will go ahead and address the some of the other species for those of you who have pets of a different sort. So anyway, but let's talk about building trust when you rescue an animal. Bringing a rescue dog into your home can be a life-changing experience, and it's really a life-changing experience for both of you. So whether your dog has experienced neglect, abandonment, or simply a world of unknowns, we want to be sure that trust is the foundation for your relationship with your new canine companion. So with the Peaceful Paws Method, I believe in compassionate and intuitive approach that honors each dog's uniqueness, their unique history, and their emotional needs. So building trust isn't about control, it's about connection. So the first thing we want to do is create a safe and predictable environment for your new rescue dog. And the world can feel really overwhelming to a newly adopted dog. So before focusing on training or any expectations, we just first want to ensure that they feel safe, secure, and have a quiet place to decompress. You'll want to establish a routine, regular meal times, potty breaks, walks, or other exercise that's going to help them to feel safe, and also consistent bedtime and so on, as close as you can be. We're not talking about right on the minute, but you also want to provide a safe retreat for your new dog. A nice cozy bed or a crate in a quiet place in the house, so that they can relax on their own terms. They're free to come and go to their safe place. So we want to minimize overstimulation. We want to keep introductions to new people and places and other animals. We want to do that gradually. I know when you get your new dog home, you just want to take them on a hike. You want to take them to meet mom and dad and so on. But we just want to let them do this on their own terms. Of course, some dogs settle in more quickly than others, but we just want to keep this in mind. So we want to let them set the pace. A lot of times, rescue dogs take a lot more time than we might think. So it might take more time for them to be comfortable with engaging with you. And so instead of rushing interactions, we want to observe their body language and just let them come to you when they're ready. Now, some dogs are like, yeah, oh, thank you for rescuing me. And they're just, they're just like, cool, I'm home. But we're always wanting to be sure that we're taking their emotional needs into consideration. If your dog is acting a bit fearful or hesitant, you want to avoid prolonged eye contact with them. That can feel very intimidating to them. So just sit quietly nearby and allow them to approach on their own time. If they retreat or seem really unsure, then go ahead and give them some space and plenty of patience. We want to be mindful of something called the 3-3-3 rule. Rescue dogs typically go through an adjustment period that is like the first 3 days, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So the first 3 days, they can feel very overwhelmed. They might even shut down or even be fearful as they process their new environment. 3 weeks, after 3 weeks, they'll probably start to feel more comfortable, but they may also start to test some boundaries as they explore their new home and their new family. After 3 months is when dogs will usually be fully settled in and really showing their true personality and then forming a deeper bond with their new family. Obviously, different dogs take different amount of time, but this is kind of a general time frame. So if we can support them during this time and be patient, we want to keep routines consistent and just allowing them to build that trust at their own pace. We want to avoid overwhelming them with too much too soon, as I said. So introduce new experiences gradually, and you're also going to want to focus on creating a sense of safety. Again, always being present and watching your dog to be sure that you're not overlooking any of their needs. So we can build trust, of course, through positive reinforcement, and that is done through kindness and not through force. We want to use reward-based communication, which is going to help your dog to feel more safe while they're learning that good things come from interacting with you. So we want to mark and reward calm behavior. So treats, gentle praise, and soft body language on your part can certainly reinforce the positive interactions. We want to avoid punishment or corrections. Many rescue dogs have a history of uncertainty, and harsh responses could really erode that trust that you're trying to build. We can use food as a bridge. I often recommend that people, and I've done this with each of my dogs that I've brought to my home, is for the first week or so, I will hand feed them. And that really, really helps to build trust. So that, it's like, hey, this is the hand that feeds me. So we do want to be sure that we understand the signs of stress. Each dog is unique, but we want to learn to interpret their signals so that that can help you to respect their boundaries and fully meet their emotional needs. So some of the signs of stress for dogs is lip licking, where they're, they might stick their tongue out just a little bit, or it might come out further and lick their nose. In the absence of food, lip licking is very often a signal that the dog is stressed. Yawning is another one. Out of context, if your dog is yawning at the vet's office, if they don't care to see the doctor, then that might be, if they're yawning, they're not tired. They're probably feeling some stress. Of course, a tucked tail, turning away, looking away from you, or the whatever the stressor is, then those are signs that we need to change the environment. We have some signs of trust too that we can look for. We can look for soft eyes and a relaxed body posture. If they lean into your touch, that's a sign of trust. And just choosing to be near you is also a sign of trust. We want to be sure that we respect growling and avoidance from our dogs. A growl is communication. It's not defiance. It's not denomination. It's not domination. Let me say that again. A growl is communication. It's not defiance, nor is it domination. We want to acknowledge their feelings and adjust our approach. I tell all clients that we do not want to ever punish a growl, because a growl is the only way a dog has to say, hey, you're freaking me out. Don't make me do anything more than growl. So anyway, we want to also then communicate through energy and intuition. Dogs are so highly perceptive to our emotions, and so if you're feeling anxious or frustrated, your dog is probably going to pick up on that, and they'll feel it. So instead, we want to focus on being calm and grounded. And I usually concentrate on my breathing. If I'm around a fearful dog, I do what I call the Peaceful Paws, Pause, and I do that with my dogs, and it's really beneficial for getting everybody grounded and getting everybody calmed down. So yeah, we want to breathe, we want to slow down, we want to approach all of our interactions with softness, not with urgency. We want to be present, and your dog needs your awareness and not just your cues. So, and we also want to always celebrate the little wins, the small wins. Every moment of trust that you gain with your dog, whether you see them wagging their tail, or they come up and they give you a curious sniff, or just choosing to be near you, we want to celebrate that. That's progress. We also want to we want to honor our dog's individual journey, because every rescue dog comes with a story, and some wounds take longer to heal than others. Trust isn't built in a day. It is built through consistent, compassionate connection. Some dogs may always be a little bit reserved, and that's okay. Some may take weeks or months to fully settle in, and that's okay. Just the best gift that you can give them, in addition to a new loving home, is that you can give them patience and understanding. So, in Peaceful Paws Method, I do believe in reframing the behavior and returning harmony in doing so. We're not going to do it through dominance, but we're going to do it through connection. And by meeting your rescue dog where they are, and supporting them with love and respect, then you're going to create a foundation of trust that's really going to last a lifetime. So, if you have recently, if you've ever welcomed a rescue dog into your home, I would love to hear about your story. And if you'd like to put your story in the comments, that would be great. And that's cool. So, as I promised, I will talk about some other things that we can do for other rescued species. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to want to create a safe and predictable space. For dogs and cats, designate a cozy bed and allow them to come and go as necessary. With horses, we really want to allow them time to acclimate to their new stall or pasture before we really expect a lot of interaction between horses. For birds, we want to keep their cage in a calm, low traffic area, and just give them time to observe and figure out their new environment. With reptiles, we want to ensure that their enclosure has proper heating and humidity and hiding spots for them to reduce their space. Their stress. We want to reduce their stress, not their space. I had the pleasure of communicating with a snake, and the client was wondering why she wasn't eating, and in the communication with the snake, she showed me a humidifier that they had put in near her enclosure, and anyway, we got some answers as to whether the enclosure was the proper humidity for her and the proper temperature. So, and they made that adjustment, and then she started eating. So, again, let them set the pace. We've talked about dogs and cats. We want to avoid forcing interaction. With horses, you want to just spend time near them without direct interaction and let them approach you first. Birds, we want to always speak softly and just allow them to observe you and get used to you before attempting to handle them. Reptiles, we want to move slowly and avoid sudden gestures Some species may take weeks to get used to handling. So, you know, that of course depends on the individual and the species. So, again, we can use positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement works with all species, including humans. And I have seen, was it hermit crabs that were trained by positive reinforcement? A big deal is training chickens with clicker training chickens. That's hard to say. You want to notice their specific body language. We've talked about dogs. Cats will, if they have a swishing tail and pinned ears, that would indicate discomfort. But if they're doing slow blinks and head rubs, that's going to indicate affection. Pinned ears on horses is also a sign of tenseness and unease. So if you're seeing soft eyes and a relaxed stance, then that means that they trust you. Birds under stress will have excessive vocalization and even feather plucking. A contented bird will have a relaxed body and smooth feathers, and songbirds will sing. Reptiles, if they're hiding or hissing or puffing up, that means they need some space. But if they have a relaxed body posture and are readily eating from your hand, then then they're feeling comfortable with you. So, same thing with all species. We want to communicate through energy and respect their individual needs and so on. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. I have a couple of other announcements. One is that I have just, I hope you can see this. Let me get my notes out of the way here. Okay. I have just published the Peaceful Paws Method. It's Connecting Hearts, Transforming Lives, a holistic, intuitive, and science-based approach to canine behavior and training. This is sort of 20 years of dog training as a certified professional dog trainer and several years of being an animal communicator. This is the result. It's kind of like my greatest hits. I've put a lot of some of my other books in here as well. The other big announcement is that I have combined my two websites. I've combined the Animal Speak website with the Peaceful Paws website, and we are now living at www.patblocker.com. The old emails that you have for me still work. So pat@theanimalspeak.com, pat@peacefulpaws.net, those still work. And I'm going to eventually get everybody over to the new one, which is info@patblocker.com. Okay, I think that's it for today. So glad that you've joined me, and I really I would love to hear about some of your experiences with rescued animals. So lots of love to you and your animals, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.